Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate here. It's nothing to do with data emanation. This is just what I have up. Um, what I actually want to demonstrate is router on a stick. So in this scenario, you have a router and you have multiple switches. For purposes of this little demonstration, I'm probably only going to cable one. But what you would have here is the router connected to these switches, daisy chain, literally like on a stick. You have your data link devices, layer 2 switches. You got your network layer device here. According to our OSI model, our layer 3 device has to know what to do with the VLANs. Okay, that's all it is. So your switches are each going to have their own individual VLANs. Your router has to have a sub interface that deals with all of that. Now, oh, you're not going to see any of that now. Let me switch this up. We'll run that again. So we can see the packet tracer. Now, packet tracer, of course, is it's just a emulator. I've worked with these routers before and these switches. So again, router, layer 3, connecting to our layer 2 devices. Now, when you're doing this, you do have to add your serial interfaces onto your device. Okay, so we're putting in the paneling on the back here. I've never actually done that, but so it's emulated. You turn off the device, turn it back on. All right, and so our gigabit 00 is where the Ethernet is going to connect. All right. I want to make sure we can see the router here. All right, and we're going to tackle this. So, no. No. I'm going to paste in a configuration here, and you always want to do this with this crap, because this is, nobody wants to type all of this, okay? All of that is going to be correct. Nobody wants to type all of that. It's unnecessary. Okay. Gigabit 01 interface. We're just going to assign it the IP address we pull out of our ass. Got 24 hosts available there with that subnet. No shut. And we're going to describe it local. Now our serial interface, we're likewise going to give an IP address to, however, this would be a connection to a server. Probably. Just guessing by the IP here. Now here's the meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about here. All right. So I have demonstrated before setting up VLANs on your switches. So this is on top of that. This is what you would be doing, right? You're creating a subinterface. So let's say you have a VLAN named VLAN 5. You want your number here to match that, okay? So our interface number, subinterface number for a VLAN 5 that's connected to gigabit interface 0/0 is going to be 0/0.5. Then we're going to enable the encapsulation, .1Q encapsulation. Now, this is not going to be necessary if you're using an MPLS switch or a multi-layer layer 3 switch. Right? I don't suspect that this is going to be too common. Jesus, I did that wrong. This is going to be too common in the future because of the rising use of a layer 3 switch, just because it's very advantageous in a lot of ways. All right, so, all right, IP address assigned 247.NAS. We're going to do that for all of them. All right, so VLAN 10 gets that. IP address modified accordingly out of a 240. Next usable address after the network ID for this is going to be .17. All right, because we're incrementing by 15 addresses. We're excluding the very last address and the very first address. I'm sorry, excluding the broadcast. So .15. So forth and so on. Right? We understand what's happening here, and the last VLAN you want to do, just for examples here, will be VLAN 50, which is, in this example, will be like an administrative VLAN. You never want to just leave VLAN 99 as is, because that's how VLAN hopping happens. People get into that default VLAN and they use it to hop over to others using like basically privilege escalation. We don't want that, so you always want to change your admin VLAN to something else, something they're not going to be able to tell is a thing. Encapsulation.1Q 50, and we're going to assign it the proper IP address. .49. Alright, so that is how you enable subinterfaces on a router, and these subinterfaces allow the router to route traffic to those VLANs through encapsulation.1Q or .1Q encapsulation. So that's how that works. I guess my next one I'll do is a little bit of maybe a short demonstration of a access list ACL, and we will I'll take it from there, and I'll do some rep demonstrations later, so forth and so on, going in NTP servers, how to set up that, how to point that correctly. But this is how you set up router on a stick. Not necessary if you're using a layer 3 switch, but necessary if you're using a layer 2 switch with a router.